I'm here today with Elizabeth Harrell, the founder of Crossroads Eldercare Planning. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
And you are the owner and the founder, but tell us, what is Crossroads Eldercare Planning?
Well, Crossroads Eldercare Planning was created to serve seniors and their families as they're looking for options for senior housing, home care, and other resources in the community. So we work with families on a one-on-one basis and really understand their situations completely, financially, care-wise, different preferences like location and whether you're going to have a pet with you or whatever the case may be, and help them really understand what all of their options are when they're looking for that sort of help in housing.
So I come to you and I say, you know what, my mom just can't live alone anymore.
Mhm.
We need to find a place for her to go. I don't know what to do.
Right.
What are you going to tell me?
Yeah, well, the first thing we're going to do is really let you really elaborate on all of that. We want to hear all about your mom and how's she doing, where's she living now, what's her past situation like, what's her personality like, what are your concerns for her, and maybe what are her concerns for herself. And once we get a clear picture, you know, what her needs are, what her fears are, what your fears are, and so forth, then we'll start talking about what some of the options are in terms of care, like whether or not she's a fit for assisted living or nursing care or independent living or home care and resources in the community. And once we get an idea as to which one of those are the direction you want to take, then we'll talk about, we do need to get a clear understanding of financials. So we like to know what people's income is and their assets, and then we can talk about whether veterans benefits or any sort of Medicaid waivers or Medicaid itself would apply. And then kind of put the whole puzzle together and say, here's what your options are going to be, whether you want to stay home or move to a community, here's what your options are. And then we get that information for them and we get it coming to them. And
So, you know, I come to you and I don't even know the difference between independent living and assisted living and skilled care, as you're talking about. How do you help the families understand what that is and what's right for their parent?
I think what I do, because that's often the case. In fact, I was just speaking with somebody who said, well, this person that I'm trying to find housing for will definitely need nursing care. And I've heard that a lot, so there's no argument here. We start talking about what their needs are, and they say, well, they need help. They can't use the restroom on their own, and they need help getting up out of bed and onto their walker. And in that person's mind, that means nursing care, because they don't understand that an assisted living actually can handle those needs. So that's why we find out what the person's needs are, and then we explain to them, usually through personal stories, where explain to them what the assisted livings can do, and that they absolutely have the license to handle that level of care, and the experience and the trained staff to handle that level of care. And if they're still not so sure and they still think, I don't know, I really think they need nursing care, then I get them to go and visit the community, and they can see for themselves that people just like their loved ones are living there and having a nice quality of life. So it's just a slow education process, and they come around to believing it on their own and feeling comfortable with the idea.
Now, what if, I live out of town and I came home to visit my mom and I realized she needs to go into something other than where she's living now, and I say to you, I don't have time to visit 100 places to figure out which is the best place. And I'm going to be here next week on Thursday. How am I going to do that?
Right. Well, yeah, that's where it really works to, work with somebody like us, because what we'll do is we'll have that consultation. That's generally a phone consultation. Everything that I've discussed so far, we can do that completely over the phone. And then when we've determined, usually there might be 50 places in Kent County, but only 4 or 5 are really going to be your best fit based on location, budget, and care levels. And some other particulars that might be important to you, whether you want a more urban setting or a rural setting or whatever the case may be. And then we will make a referral to each of those communities and give them a detailed synopsis of your loved one's situation, and ask them to reach out to you at your direction. So whether you need phone calls at night or on a Saturday morning or whatever the case may be, and they'll schedule a time for you to come and take a visit. You don't have to go through the whole case with them again over the phone, because they already have all the information. So they're basically just welcoming you in to take a look. And when you go and take those tours, you know full well that you are a fit for that community. It's just whether or not you like it. So every place you're visiting is a fit based on finances, care, and location, and you're just trying to see if you like it. So it literally cuts down on hours and hours, if not days of work, to work with a company like ours.
And I notice as I look at your brochure that this is a free service that you provide.
It is, yes.
And can you tell us how that works?
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people ask me that question, and I'm very comfortable sharing that. The service is free because we're contracted with communities throughout West Michigan. The key to that, to remain objective and unbiased, is that we work with every single community in West Michigan. The service we provide, our clients are generally referred to us from people like doctors, lawyers, nurses, discharge planners in rehabs and so forth, and they share, they let us help their clients because they know that we're very objective and unbiased, and we will never ever leave out an option that's a fit, no matter what. And so we do get paid by the communities, but we do work with all of them.
Okay, and you know, for someone who is looking for a place and trying to find a place, this is a Grand Rapids business that you have. This isn't a national corporation. This is your business right here in
That's
West
right.
Michigan.
Yeah, we're here local in West Michigan. At one point in my career, I worked for a national company, so I have a lot of knowledge of the options available in Kalamazoo, the Lake Shore, and Lansing. And then there's just a very general knowledge base that's helpful. I can help people all over the country because a lot of what I know, it would apply nationally, and then I can connect them up with good resources in those areas. But yes, we're a locally based company right here in Grand Rapids, and I think that's important because there's agencies out there who we go into the communities on a regular basis and really know exactly what they do and how they do it and when they have openings, and it's important to know that the person that's referring you has actually been in all the communities and is continuing to go in on a regular basis.
Great. Well, for all your needs for finding a place to either live for yourself or an elder person that you love, you need to go to Crossroads Eldercare Planning. Elizabeth Harrell, thanks for being here.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.